All right, welcome to SCUM. SCUM is a survival PvP orientated but can be played PvE game where you're a life sentence prisoner that's been handed over or sold to a company where you get dropped on an island for blood sports. The company that owns the island televises this through the use of drones, and on the island you not only have to face other prisoners, aka other players, but you also have to face mind-controlled puppets, human beings that are there for whatever reason. They have a chip in their head just like you do, and they've been programmed to act like zombies. There are also sentry robots guarding high-value loot locations that you need to either try and destroy, which is currently very difficult, or evade to get into those high value locations. Fairly new to the game myself, just been playing for a little while. We do have a SCUM server set up, the Bad Apple SCUM server. This is open to our Twitch subscribers and Patreons. Links for all of that is down in the description of the channel. So what I want to do with this series is not so much just gameplay, but just to go through how to play the game. A lot of stuff is hidden there. The game's still in development. It is still an early access game, and a lot of information about how to play the game is just not in the game. So you pick up the game, you're not going to know what to do, and you're going to find it very difficult. That the learning curve is extremely steep. So let's start off by getting into a single player game. As you can see here, here's your prisoner. This is the avatar that you'll be using. You can change, they say head options, but it's really, as you see, full body. It's basically the race of your prisoner. You can have tattoos on and off. There's a small selection of tattoos. Your private parts can be in concealed mode, like it is at the moment. There is quite an odd option here of genitalia size, as well as grow over time, which I haven't been able to find any information on or why it's there. That aside, you have your core attributes. This is your starting values for your attributes. At this point in time, which is patch 0.6, the intelligence attribute cannot be improved. So whatever you set this to sets your intelligence level for the duration of the game. However, dexterity, constitution, and strength can all be improved in-game. You can leave this as it is, default, if you want to just play for the first time, or you can play around with these numbers. You can decrease some of them to increase others. Strength obviously has an impact on how hard you hit with melee weapons. It has an impact on how much how well you can draw the bow and how long you can keep a bow drawn. The heavier the bow, the more strength you need. Constitution affects things like your metabolism, which is very detailed in this game. A lot of this game has very realistic mechanisms. Dexterity affects your ability to run and your stamina, and then intelligence affects how quickly you learn things, and a lot of stuff is done through through doing. You skill a skill through doing it. There are no in-game skill points or books to read or anything like that. You want to get better at something, you've got to do it a lot. Alright, so let's go to the next page. Okay, so here we start off with skill point distribution. You can see strength skills, you get 6 points. If we go back and we change this up, let's say we make that dexterity 2 and we make the strength 4, we now have 8 points to distribute. If we look at intelligence skills, we have things like awareness, sniping, camouflage, survival, engineering, medical. Awareness affects your looting, the quality of the loot and the availability of the loot. Let's go back and let's just readjust that back to normal. So we go with the default code here. So 6 points available for everything. One thing that I will advise here is that it's a big map, and as soon as you find a vehicle, you're going to want to start using it. Driving takes quite a while to skill up, so when adding skills I would put at least medium into driving. It's going to help a lot for dexterity skills. The other thing that I would put skills into in dexterity is thievery and stealth. So 1 point there, and I will put that into thievery. Okay, it's not allowing me to go all the way. Maybe make driving basic, thievery medium. As long as you have some driving skills. In the beginning it's really painful, so at least basic driving skills. Strength skills, handguns and rifles are going to skill up pretty quickly when you use them. Archery is really good, especially when you get the compound crossbow. And if you have no skill in archery, then it makes drawing even simple bows difficult. So I'll put at least a basic in archery and a basic in melee weapons. Can't adjust heavy weapons at the moment. We'll come back to that. Okay, so running, we only have 2 skills here. So medium for both. Dexterity, we still have 1 point. So put that into basic. Intelligence skills, you'll want awareness, engineering, and medical. Medical so that you can treat your wounds better. Basic engineering unlocks a couple of items that you need in the beginning. And then awareness And this is just a starter board. You guys can obviously play with this as you want. You can create characters with strengths and weaknesses, how you see fit. So if you want to go for somebody who's completely stealth, you're going to go into camouflage, you're going to go into stealth. And then what have we got left? We've got survival as well. We want survival. Okay, so strength, still at 4 points. Towards archery, and melee weapons, because those are the two things you're going to have available to you right in the beginning, is pointy sticks and arrows, bows and arrows. Alright, says your name is already taken. Let's just go back. Bend over. Oh my word. Okay. Seems like a interesting name there, Billy Blue Jeans. Right, yeah, we all set for our skills. This is your sort of overview. Super Steam user. Crime always seems to be arson. The country is Croatia. That's where the game is set. The map is set in a part of Croatia. Okay, this is your details here, and bold occupation. So that just lays out everything that you have here. So you see there, like survival, engineering, medical, they all 30%, awareness on 10%. That's the progress to the next level. You can see it in the little circles there. There's a quarter, that's a half, because it's a medium. That's a quarter. Those are on half. Yeah. Let's start again. As you can see there, SCUM is an early access game that's still being developed, which means things that will evolve while you're playing it. You experience errors, crashes, unfinished features, and lack of content in the course of the game. Right. And here we are.
Secure communication with human asset established. Greetings, human asset. Welcome to SCUM Island tutorial protocol provided by the Tech One Corporation. My designation is Dual Energetic Entity Neural Appliance or DENA. I am an artificial intelligence created by the Tech One Corporation tasked with overseeing the SCUM show protocols, including the preparation of human assets. If you wish to activate the tutorial, please do so on your journal interface. Secure channel closed.
Okay, so there's a little tutorial AI. The tutorial at the moment is a little bit useless. So I'm going to take you through the basics myself. Hit tab button and this gives you your inventory, that gives you your clothes. Some clothing items have pockets or inventory spaces. So like your inmate shirt and your pants both have pockets. Your socks, your underwear, your undershirt don't. the top here, you can see filters for items in your vicinity. So sometimes there's a lot of stuff lying around and you only want to look for weapons, tools, beverages, food, clothing, or medical. Next up is your crafting tab. This is probably the most daunting thing to look at besides your metabolism. But we'll come back to that a little bit later. You'll see me doing things now that's, I'll have more in-depth explanation about it later on. Metabolism. It looks like a lot of information. It is a lot of information. But you want to pay attention to a couple of things, and the rest is just interesting. First thing you want to pay attention to is energy and water. Those are your two most important stats over there. Micronutrient reserves, secondary importance. Muscle and fat reserves, secondary importance. Digestion is going to be important to keep track of, but we'll get back to that a little bit later. On the left hand side here, you have your stats. That's your strength, constitution, dexterity, intelligence. You can see the progress of your skills for each one as you click on it. Right, basic info is your age, lifetime. That's your lifetime on the island. Your weight, your health, number of teeth, blood type, blood volume, and your temperature. Performance data, all of that. You'll see that some of those things will go into red sometimes due to status effects on you. Next to the stats is the health tab. This is going to show you where you're injured. This is where you're going to treat those injuries. It shows you your health and your amount of blood. And then you can filter by bones, muscle, bones, and organs. All right. You can also zoom in here on specific parts of the body. And at the top there, you get sort of a ICU monitor. You can see the waveform. This looks pretty, but I mean, for the most part, you're not going to pay too much attention to that. This is the journal tab. There are currently no main missions, no side missions. There is tutorials, simple crafting, bad crafting, blueprints, so on, so on, so on. But we're not going to go through this because some of it's a little bit unintuitive and a little bit broken. Okay, and we've got the squad tab. This is for multiplayer, and then there's the events also for multiplayer. Squad tab allows you to create a squad, and you can people can join your squad. This is helpful, especially on PvP servers, because if you have a squad of people, you can all work together, defend your base, and raid as a squad. This event tab is for PvP events for servers. You can see the list of players, cost you fame points to enter, and that's that. So, first things first, we need to get a weapon going. And in order to create a weapon, we're first going to need a knife. And if you look around, you'll see there are some rocks. So let's get into the controls of how you operate everything. Image for the map. We're currently all the way down here in Z2 on a little separate piece of island. All right. You'll see roads and structures in red Roads are in major tarred roads are in yellow, dirt roads are in white. The red line is a train track. It's not, you can't zoom into this map, you can't annotate this map, you can't make waypoints or anything like that on this map. You can see that there are facilities or buildings, groups of buildings. In some cases they are villages, some cases they are bunkers, protected areas. And that there is a sort of safe zone here in the corner of D2, but that doesn't really have a function in the game at the moment. It looks like they're going to have like traders and stuff there. Okay, that's the map. Obviously there's the tab menu for inventory and crafting. We'll get into that in a moment. You have W, S, A, and D is the standard controls. Control for crouch. And then X for prone. Shift W is auto walk. Okay. And then running or speed at which you walk in this game is controlled by your middle mouse button. 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, you're full blast. Okay. Now, how do you get a weapon, you say? See the rocks? Look for little piles of rocks like this. Press F to search. And I don't know if you saw the little blue glow there, but 3 rocks have formed on the ground. This is very important to understanding how crafting works. So if you see there's 3 rocks on the ground, but you have limited inventory. Now you can put those rocks in your inventory, but it's not necessary because you can craft from your vicinity. Go to crafting. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create a stone knife because we need bladed weapons to do a lot of crafting tool tasks in this game. So by clicking on the stone knife under tools, we can see that we need at least 2 stones. And I'm going to minimize the can be used with because that's not really important right now. Here you see your inventory. You have nothing in your inventory that you can use this with, use to make this. So everything's grayed out. But in the vicinity, you have 3 stones. And you can use 2 of them. Now, recipes with more components, if there's those components are in vicinity, you can manually select them. Let's craft the knife. Okay. Switch back to the inventory so that you can see that the knife will not go into your inventory straight away. It stays on the ground. And you got to remember this because otherwise you're going to craft a knife and you're going to run away thinking, oh, it's in my inventory, like other games. No, it's not. It's on the ground. Knife takes up 2 spaces. You put the knife in your pants. All right. And then I don't need that stone right now, so I'm not going to pick it up. Okay. So now, if I right click on the knife, I get options here. I can examine a knife, I can take it in my hands, drop it, add it to quick access. I can cut my hair. This is a cut hair and facial hair. This is an option that's unique to bladed or sharp edged tools. Strangely enough, you can shave with a chainsaw because it's considered a sharp edged tool. I don't know if you want to, but apparently you can. Okay, so that's that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to find some bushes. This one is a fruit bush. We can search this one, and there you'll see there's some rosehip on the ground, and we can right click on that and we can check taste. It's, you see in the right hand corner there, just above my little information display, rosehip, and it's raw. It's fruit. So just search again. Now there's that stone that we found a moment ago. You see that it's not highlighted in green, but this is highlighted in green, which means it's in a container. So that's why it's ringed in green like that. If I tab out and I tab back, I don't see the rosehip anymore. I have to research that container in order to get it. So that's rosehip. We're going to eat it and eat that, and we're going to go to metabolism. Right, so now stomach contents 1%. We're digesting that rosehip. It has food and water values. That was the brown and the blue. Okay, so you'll see that the colon percentage and the bladder percentage have gone up. When these are full, you will need to do something about that. You will need to either take a crap or take a piss. Alright, so let's come back out here and let's go find another bush. We've been joined by a TV drone. These drones will appear at random during the game and observe your actions. And there is a stat. You go here to the statistics menu. Under combat, there is a stat for drones, I think. Drones killed, so you can kill them. Alright, so let's go up to the bush. We're going to cut the bush now. F to cut, you will equip your knife. Knife is in your hands. It's also in G for some reason. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so now we go back to the inventory. You can see a number of items on the ground. There are small wooden sticks, long wooden sticks, and small wooden logs. For the most part, small wooden logs are used for fires, for fueling fires and that kind of stuff. If we examine, it can be used with, it's over there, it can be used with firing, improvised handgun, improvised shotgun, and improvised workbench. Those are all items that you can craft with this material. Go back here to inventory. Okay, so we need a weapon to defend ourselves with. So we're going to take the long stick and we're going to craft an improvised wooden spear. Okay. And again, as before, that wooden spear goes onto the ground. So we're going to double click that and we're going to equip it on our shoulder. There's the two shoulder holsters here. The quick access is for items from your inventory. So we can drag the knife to 3, and then if we click 3, it goes there. And then there's whatever's in your hand at the moment. So just to demonstrate, we can press 1 for the spear. It's 1 again to put it back. And 3 for the knife. 3 again to put it back. Press 1, and then 3. Swaps around. Okay. Alright, so now we have a spear. So you'll see there's a little white dot there. That is where you aim. Or rather where you're looking. Right click is for block. Left click is attack. Now, if you're at the correct range for attacking with a spear, you will stab. If you get too close, you will use the spear like a two-handed club. Not a very effective one, but you're too close to stab. Therefore, you're just going to bash with the spear. You can block with any item to block incoming shots. Okay. Now, you can open your inventory and walk around, and you'll see that items will appear and disappear. Next thing we want to do is we want to make a little backpack to, carry stuff in. The game is going to have you cut up your clothing to make rope in the tutorial, which is unnecessary, because if we take the wooden stick and we cut it up into small sticks, okay, now we have a bunch of small sticks. If we go to crafting, right over here, items, no skill, we have the ability to make a tree bark rope. Again, this requires 5 small sticks and a tool. You'll see the markers here in the bottom corner. That green ring shows it's a required item. That tool icon there means that you have to have a tool to use it. And then these little arrows show that there's a range of tools that you could use. Basically any bladed weapon or bladed tool can be used with, again, so the rope is used in manufacturing all of these things. There's the tool, there's the sticks, and we're going to craft that over there, right? So, as always, the rope goes onto the ground. It's too big to put into the inventory of the shirt because the inventory shirt can only hold 600 grams. Now what we're going to do is we want to make this improvised courier backpack. So for that we need rope and we need 3 rags. In your inventory here, you're going to take the undershirt and we're going to cut into rags. Quickly, just a few things about the information that you're seeing here. So if you mouse over it, you see that there's 0 kgs, 0.9 kgs. So that's the 4, let's just put that on the ground quickly, 0.5. The pants itself weighs 500 grams. If I put the knife into it, it now weighs 900 grams because the knife weighs 400 grams. It's giving us 2 points of heat, and it's currently 100% quality. It's giving us 1 point of heat, and it's 200 grams, 1 point of heat. Shoes is giving us 2 points of heat, the socks 1 point of heat. All that contributes to how hot we are. The other little icon there is wetness. If your clothes get wet, they start to weigh more because they're drenched in water. So this is how much thought has gone into some aspects of this game. Right, so we need 3 cloths, so I'm going to cut my undershirt into rags. Alright, so I get 2 rags and some rag strips. Since I'm going to need more rags, I'll cut my underwear into rags. Okay, so now I've got 4 rags and some rag strips, and you'll see there's 1 of 1, so there's only 1 use of each of these items. However, there's 10 of 10 in the rope. Some recipes will require only a portion of a full coil of rope, which means you'll have some rope left over. Let's go back to crafting. We've got a courier backpack selected here still, and now you'll see that the background has gone from this yellow hash pattern to nothing in the background, which means it's available to craft. We click the craft button. Let's craft a backpack quickly. Quickly being a relative term. Okay, so the backpack is now on the ground as always. You see the backpack is shown up here as well below the line. So this line can be moved up and down, show you more items on the ground. Again, this can be filtered. So that's equipable items, no food, no drink, no tools, no weapons, but no bandages or no medical stuff, which is not technically true because these rag strips and rags can be used to treat wounds. Okay, so equip the backpack. You'll see we now have a new slot. New item in the stack here and new carrying capacity. So we're going to put the rag strips in there, and we're going to put the rags in there. You'll see that these take up a set amount of blocks, but they also have a weight to them. So weight and volume is both taken into account when adding stuff to a container. This bag can take a total of 10 kilograms, but it only has, we take that, that's 4, 8, 16. 16 is 32, and another 16 is 48. So it has 48 squares, and that's as much volume as it has. So you can fill the volume without reaching the weight limit of the storage item. All right, as you see here, that log weighs 1.5 kilograms, but then takes up 16 slots. And we don't want to carry that around right now. Okay, so we have weapon, we have a tool. I'll just put that weapon into the wrong holster now. There we go. So where do we go from here? Well, now we explore. And if we hit the focus key, oh yeah, we haven't found a compass yet, so we have no idea which way we're looking. Although I see there's some wind generators over there, and there's some water over there with a little island, and that looks like that little island over there. So that's a rough idea of where we're going. When we find a compass, or if we make a crude compass, we'll get some basic directions. So this is as good a time as any to dig into the crafting menu, to dig into the crafting menu. This is divided up into several categories. Just going to minimize it to make it easier to see. Alright, so you have tools and weapons, items, food, blueprints, and baseboarding. Okay, if we expand tools and weapons, subdivided by no skill, basic, medium, advanced. There is, I haven't seen it yet, but there is apparently another division, and that is expert. But that doesn't show up here at the moment. So these things are governed, these tools are governed by survival and engineering. There's no search, so you can't search for items, but like you saw when looking at the examine tab, can be used with, will give you an idea of what you can do with that particular item. As you advance in skills, these grayed out ones will become available. So you can see here the basic skill, there's something that I need to advance in order, like my engineering, for instance. I need to advance in order to make these items. And you see some of them are available already, others are not. Items, improvised paddle, improvised hook. These are under no skill. There's an improvised backpack, primitive compass. Needs wood, metal, and a toolbox or a toolkit. This will give us basic directions, and then under medium there is lock protection and a silver lock, and lock protection advanced and enforced lock. We'll get back to locks and stuff much later on. Okay. Food items. So there are a number of drinks, small skewer with sausages, small skewer with meat, skewer with meat, and skewer with sausages. Stew ingredients, and apparently you don't need any skill to bake a birthday cake. I disagree. I've tried and I'm not very good at it. Sausages is counted as a basic skill. Soups, spaghetti bolognese. These, you need cooking pots for all of these. There's medium and advanced, and a fourth thing, I believe that falls under survival. But you're going to find a lot of food in the world that you can eat straight away. We'll get into blueprints at a later stage, but basically what this does is, if you select the blueprint, you can say craft, and that gives you a little hologram that you can place on the ground. And once you've placed it, you now have a list of ingredients that you need. You need sticks, and you need cloth or paper, and then you can go and collect those items, come back and add them to there. Okay, your F key is going to provide you with a lot of options in the game. The option that's shown when pointing at an item isn't the only option that there is. So you can hold on F to get more options. For now, we're just going to destroy that. All right, so we're going to need items. There's a cargo drop. We'll get back to how cargo drops work in this game. We're going to need more stuff, and we need better tools, we need better clothes, and better gear overall, weapons. We're only going to find that by going and looting. So while I'm here at the water, let's just introduce you to swimming in the game. Now, this is ocean here, and you'll see that there is an option there to drink. If I hold the option to fill or drink, do not drink the seawater, you'll get sick. Okay, if I keep going, eventually I will start swimming. Okay, you can see I'm feeling a bit chilly, the water's cold. The weight of my items, the weight of my clothing, my gear, my backpack, everything is taken into account when swimming. If you have too much stuff on you, you will sink to the bottom, and you will drown if you cannot get your items off and get back to the surface. All right. Now, let's have a look at the inventory. You can see my shirt has picked up some weight of 570 grams of water there, and 1.4 kilograms of water there. 1 kilogram in weight there and 0 kilograms there. So as that dries out, that weight will get less. There seems to be some buildings or something over this way. Now you'll see in the bottom left hand corner, the second little dial there has a yellow line that goes up as I'm running. If I slow down, that yellow line doesn't go as far up. If I walk, if I sprint, it goes right up to the top, and you'll see my stamina is going down. Above that is obviously also my health, and then second from the bottom is my hunger, and then my thirst. When your thirst gets to 50%, your character is going to start telling you that they're thirsty. When your food gets to 50%, they'll start telling you that they're hungry. And then there's also above my character icons for visibility, whether something can see you, and sound, whether something can hear you. You heard that crack there, that snap. I walked over a twig. That could alert somebody. Okay, so this looks like some kind of facility, maybe a salt factory. I'm going to sneak down. Don't want to alert any puppets that might be in the area. This looks like some things I can loot here. Let's search. Here's just scrap metal for now. You will collect scrap metal. It's very useful in making a lot of things. You need it for making tools and weapons and structures and everything like that. Bag of salt. A large bag of salt. Used in salting meat to help preserve it. Yeah, there's nothing in that container. You see when I search that the little sound icon ticks up. So you can look through windows, see what's inside before you go in. In some cases you can vault through a window. 50% there, I'm thirsty. Okay, let's open this up. Something very important to remember in this game is close doors behind you, because puppets may spawn or respawn around you. Okay, there's some water I can drink. So we can have a look at the metabolism here. I'm filling my stomach up with fresh water. We drink again. So you can see that I've drunk now 2 portions of fresh water. They are both busy digesting. That's filling the colon and going to fill the bladder. Now, you can fill your stomach, you can overfill your stomach. Just because your stomach is 100% doesn't mean if you keep putting stuff in there, it's not going to keep filling. And I've tested, if you overfill your stomach, if you keep going, you keep eating, keep drinking, you rupture your stomach and die. Bit of an odd one, but you know, there you go. So, when you're looting, you want to be checking your inventory tab. This duct tape is lying here in the area here. That's it over there. You won't always see the items, but there it is. You can now pick that up. Search, nothing in there. Right, let's keep searching. Here we found a food item in the world. It has 10 uses and it's currently at 87%. If we select check taste on that, it's still good. Crackers and they're raw. As the percentage goes down, they'll be slightly off, you know, rotten, and when you eat it, it's going to make you sick. So if we have a look at the options here, we can examine, we can take an hands drop, add a quick access. So we can eat all. Eating all consumes the entire amount of charges. You do that on something too big, you can rupture your stomach. So if we select eat and we have a look at our metabolism, you'll see that the crackers are all food, very little hydration. And crackers being salty, of course, will make you thirsty. So we've had 2 charges of water. I think I'll grab the 3rd one on the way out here. We currently have that in our hand. We can change that just by switching that out quickly. We can also, if we check here, we can check. We hold the F button. We can check. That's 50%, 48% full. We can drink some more. So water containers like this you find in the world. If you stay in the vicinity, they will refill. We've now picked up 2 pieces of paper. Some items in the game can be stacked. If we drag the paper onto the other one, it stacks and we can have 2 of them. We don't need any paper at the moment. So I'm going to grab the paper from my inventory and I'm going to put it on the floor. Opt items like this can be searched, so look out for that in the world. That has a metal pipe. Some more salt. That seems to be locked. Okay, this one can be opened. Oh, we found our first puppet. Okay. If you keep them at bay, less chance of them hurting you. I'm going to let this one hit me. So now I'm damaged. You can see the indicator in the bottom left corner there. And the blood running down the screen. Alright. I'm bleeding. I'll go to metabolism and health. I can see the bleeds there. I can use the rag strips to treat the injury. Okay, that's only treated it slightly, so we'll treat again. Okay, that has succeeded, and we can use that bandage to treat the other one. And that has not worked. So my medical skill is low, but that bleed is going down. So the bleed's going to stop on its own. Conditions, you have bleeding injury condition. Condition 1 is the lowest threat to you. See, I've taken damage in my skull and my arm. Okay, those bleeds have now stopped and I'm in stabilization. While this bleed is in stabilization, it's affecting my health and I can't regain health. I also, if I run around or do too much physical activity, I risk reopening those wounds. So those wounds are healing at the moment. Once they go into recovery, I'll start regaining health. Okay. V comes out of combat. So let's search the puppet here. Alright, if we look at the inventory, there's now a very low durability rubber band, a wool sweater, trainer shoes, and Angel's flight pants, which is basically like bell bottoms or something. You can also see the body of the puppet here now. And I've got an option to chop it up. But if you look at this, well, we have the option to cut this into rags. It's going to end up with as dirty rags, and they have to be cleaned first before we can use them. Can't use dirty rags in crafting. Well, mostly can't use dirty rags in crafting. I think there might be 1 or 2 recipes where you can, but for the most part, you can't use it for healing or anything like that. Okay, so let's chop the body up now. While you're doing an action like this, searching or anything like that, you can look around. Okay, so now you've picked up the following, or you've made available now to you is the following items: human skin, bone, guts, body parts. So you can take like you can examine that. It's not really a lot of things you can do with it. Bones you can craft into a bone needle. This is very useful for repairing items, because bone needle plus thread is an improvised sewing kit. You go to crafting here. Tools and weapons, no skill. See, the improvised sewing kit requires thread and a bone needle, at least. There's also normal needles. Okay, so now we want to pick up that bone needle in case we find some thread, and then we can repair our gear. The skin can be used as leather. Can be turned into a improvised quiver. No, sorry, that's an animal skin quiver. So we need an improvised sewing kit and human skin or animal skin. And this is pretty big, so we can't really take that with us. Though we can shift this a little bit. Do that? Yes. Okay. So there you can see we've moved stuff around to be able to fit that in. Not going to be making an bone arrow right now, so we'll deal with that later. Guts can be used with meat to make sausages. Okay, so that concludes our first episode of the SCUM Academy. We will pick up in the next episode with more skills, more learning, more things that you do, things like shelter, storage. We take more of a dive into that metabolism, food, water, heat, cold, all that kind of stuff as that comes along. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching. and I hope this helps you to get a better understanding of the game. It's quite a nice game. I'm really enjoying it. All the guys on the subscription server that we have on our Discord, again, links for that down below in the bottom of the video, the description. They're all having fun. We'll get to vehicles and those kinds of things later on in the series. So yeah, so come and join the Discord, come say hi to us, come tell us your experiences and what happened to you while playing SCUM. And if you want to support the channel, please hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think of the game, tell us your experiences, and there's you can support me on Patreon to get access to the server, or you can subscribe to me on Twitch and join the Discord, link your account, and you'll be able to get access to the server. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.